She grew up side by side with gorillas who were later released into the wild. 12 years later, she set out to find them again. And what happened next was unbelievable. One misty spring morning at Howlett's Wild Animal Park in England, Tansy Aspinall woke to the chirping of birds and the crisp scent of dawn. The only child of famed conservationist Damien Aspinall, Tansy's earliest memories were filled with exotic animals most people only encountered on screens or behind bars. From the very beginning, Tansy's world included gorillas who lived in the sanctuary. These were often orphaned or injured animals brought in for care. Once they healed, the plan was always to return them to the wild. Damien believed that early loving contact between humans and animals could nurture future protectors of wildlife. Two western lowland gorillas, Jalta and Bims, became Tansy's closest childhood friends. Towering yet gentle, they treated her with the tender care of older siblings. Jalta helped her take her first steps, always nearby in case she stumbled. Bims was her partner in play. They chased each other through the grass, filling the air with giggles and joyful shrieks. This peaceful bond thrived under the careful eyes of trained staff and Damien himself, who documented these moments to show that wild animals, treated with kindness, could be safe companions. For her 5th birthday, Damien gifted Tansy a necklace with a gorilla pendant, an emblem of her connection to the creatures she loved. That day, her father said, "You're the bridge between our worlds." The gorillas see you as one of their own. That's a rare gift and a big responsibility. Those early years were rich with wonder and love, each day teaching Tansy about care, empathy, and respect for all living beings. But eventually, a difficult moment came. Jalta and Bims were ready to return home to the jungle, a bittersweet reality that tested Tansy's young heart. The parting would become one of her life's most emotional memories. As she matured, Tansy began to grasp the true weight of her father's mission and the vital role the Foundation played in conservation. The days of running beside Jalta and Bims were ending, and Tansy understood their future was in the wild, not at the reserve. At age 11, she overheard long conversations, scientists, conservationists, and her father planning every detail of the gorilla's return to Africa. Though proud, Tansy felt deep sorrow. On the day they left, the reserve buzzed with energy and emotion. Tansy stayed near her gorilla friends, whispering words of comfort. "You're going home, to where you belong," she told them softly. Jalta brushed her head with his hand as if in acknowledgement. The goodbye was a tender blur of tears and quiet smiles. Though her heart ached, she supported her father's vision. Tansy watched the trucks roll away, carrying a piece of her soul. The years that followed were full of personal growth. She studied wildlife conservation with renewed purpose, committed to her family's cause, but her yearning to see her gorilla friends never faded. That longing drove her. At 23, determined to learn their fate, she organized a return expedition to the jungle where Jalta and Bims had been released. She was joined by scientists and a film crew. After a long journey, they arrived. Each scent, each sound of the forest was like stepping back into her childhood. The team spent the following days tracking signals from radio collars, searching the dense green world for a glimpse of the past. Then one drizzly afternoon, movement stirred in the underbrush. The group froze. Cameras were raised. All eyes turned to Tansy. The humid jungle pulsed with sound and scent. Step by step, they moved closer. Every rustle made her heart pound. Tansy led, focused and determined. She scanned the trees, hoping, straining to see. Time crawled. The sun climbed high, and the guide, a man named Ekanai, held up his hand for silence. They were entering territory where gorillas had recently been seen. Tansy's heart thudded. Excitement and anxiety tangled. Inside her, years in the wild could have changed everything. Jalta and Bims were no longer playful juveniles. They could now be dominant silverbacks. Suddenly, Ekanai pointed to a dense thicket. Leaves shifted. A low grunt echoed. Then, from the shadows, a massive gorilla emerged. Instinctively, Tansy knew it was Bims. She recognized him in an instant. His stance, his eyes. He looked straight at her. Time stood still. Did he know her too, or was he simply curious? The gorilla took a single step forward. Tansy didn't breathe. Around her, the team tensed. This was a powerful wild animal. Anything could happen. She stepped forward, voice trembling as she quietly said, "Bims, it's me, Tansy." Though soft, her words reached him. The gorilla paused, tilting his head with curious recognition. The group stood frozen, breath caught as they watched the silent exchange unfold. A tense beat passed before Bims made a low, familiar sound, and Tansy knew in her heart he remembered. Ekanai murmured to the team to stay still, not to make any sudden moves. Bims took another step, his body loosening. Tansy felt hope rise. She edged forward, and Bims moved closer in kind. A wave of joy and relief washed over her. The unspoken tension melted as he made those soft, comforting sounds she knew from long ago. He stopped just shy of her, reaching out to gently touch her hand. Tansy swallowed her fear and placed her hand in his. A smile bloomed, her eyes wet with emotion. Then, to everyone's astonishment, Bims pulled her into a gentle embrace. She hugged him back, heart full to bursting. It was more profound than she had dared to imagine. Every second was caught on camera by the team, who filmed the rare, heart-stirring moment. Tansy and Bims held each other in silence, a reunion that transcended species and time. It was a powerful testament to the bond they'd formed 12 years earlier. In the hours that followed, Tansy watched Bims from a respectful distance as he interacted with his troop. It was clear he was now a leader, nurturing, attentive, and strong. Seeing him in his element, Tansy felt a deeper appreciation for her family's conservation mission. This was proof that rewilding efforts could truly work. As the sun began to set, she knew it was time to part ways once more. Her steps were slow, her heart heavy. She approached Bims, knowing this goodbye was likely final. This time, there were no tears, only quiet gratitude. She whispered her farewell, vowing to keep fighting for the cause that had united them. Somehow, Bims seemed to understand. With a soft gaze and one last touch, he turned and disappeared into the green of the forest. Tansy made her way back, the memory of their reunion etched in her soul. Her purpose was clearer than ever. She would carry on her father's legacy, working toward a world where humans and animals thrived side by side. The reunion, preserved in footage and photos, stood as a powerful reminder of the connection between species and the vital importance of protecting the natural world.